We found out that Lydia had cystic fibrosis when she was a year old. It was about 2 days before she was a year. I went to my doctor and told him I thought she had cystic fibrosis, and he told me he didn't think so, that she would have failure to thrive, she wouldn't be growing, she would have a lot of other problems, and she didn't have those, and so we didn't worry about it. So I waited until we went to an after-hours doctor, and the doctor looked at her and said, "Does she have cystic fibrosis?"
Cystic fibrosis is when your lungs are not working right and your digestion is messed up. So you have to take medicine to help you with that.
Cystic fibrosis is a genetic disorder, and Lydia picked that up because both her mom and her dad are carriers. It does affect your lungs and your digestive system. The biggest factor is the lungs, and we've got to keep those healthy and clean.
After school, I come home and I do my homework, and then I do another vest and a different breathing, and it's called pulmozyme. Then at night I have a G-tube, so I have to take a feeding that pumps it into my stomach all night, and that's how I get my extra calories. I'm a very athletic girl. I have limits to how much I can do. So in swim team, I'm on the pacing, and sometimes my lungs hurt, so I can't always finish the workout. And I also am a clogger, and I don't do the solos because we do it all at the same time, solos and team dances, and I can't get that in or I'll be exhausted.
You know, the only memory that I had of people that I went to high school with that had cystic fibrosis had passed away before they were 20. And it was hard to think I had 19 years with my beautiful baby girl.
It's a constant battle to keep her healthy, and because we know that the healthier she is, the longer she'll live. And so it's a stressful thing on us as parents as well as her.
I also don't really tell a lot of people about me having CF because it's a little embarrassing, I think, to let them know that I have a G-tube, and then I have this thing that shakes me for half an hour and I breathe this weird stuff, and all my friends, I was really scared to do it in front of them, and at the end they decided that they all wanted to come and try it, and it really made me open up.
I think the biggest thing we want them to know is that it really doesn't define who she is. She's Lydia first, and she has cystic fibrosis. But it's something that she'll deal with for the rest of her life, and that as her parents we worry about every day of her life because you know what the end result can be.
And I remember talking to my husband and saying, well, I guess we need to start reading and figure out if there's things we need to feed her and things we need to do different so that we have 19 good years. And we started from that moment and went from there.
It's a constant thing, and it's things like her wish being granted that help us escape for just that little bit, and help her feel like she's special and that it's worth it to do all the hard stuff.
We have grown from our experience with Lydia with cystic fibrosis in lots of different ways. One way is that we have learned to spend lots of time as a family. So when she was little, she hated to do her vest and her treatments by herself, and so we had lots of times that we read as a family, and we played board games, and we sat and watched movies, and we did lots of things that we just had to take a half an hour out in the morning and a half an hour out at night and sit down and do that.
On a daily basis, I think she's reminded of how she's different. And someday, because she's done all that hard stuff, it will be worth it. And every day we have is one more day that we get to have her with us.